Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, so today we are going to talk about a very specific kind of pain.
Mm,
It's a pain that I think every single developer listening has felt. You know that feeling? You have an amazing coding session with an AI agent. You are just in the zone.
totally in the flow state.
Yeah, the AI is just crushing it. You solve this like massive spaghetti monster of a bug, and you close your laptop feeling like a genius.
It's the best feeling. It's like you've unlocked a superpower.
It is, but then the next morning comes, you open your terminal, you boot up the exact same AI agent.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's gone.
Total amnesia.
It's like 50 First Dates, but for code. You
Yeah.
have to re-explain the entire project, your coding style, what you did yesterday, all of it.
It's the Groundhog Day effect.
Yeah.
You're basically hiring a brilliant new intern every morning who's never seen your code. You spend 20 minutes onboarding them, and then they forget you exist at 5 p.m.
Exactly. And that's usually where I just give up and go back to doing it myself. But
Yeah.
we found something. It literally just dropped yesterday, January 28th.
Hot off the press.
It's a GitHub repo from a team called letta-ai, and the tool is called Claude Subconscious.
And that name alone, right? Subconscious. It implies something deeper than just saving your chat history.
Right. This isn't just a log file. The promise here is that it gives Claude Code, the CLI agent we all use, a persistent memory layer. It turns a stateless doer bot into an agent that actually, knows you.
And not just knows you, but observes you. It kind of splits the AI in two. There's the part that works and the part that watches.
Okay, that sounds a little ominous, but I'm definitely intrigued. So our mission today, unpack this. Look at the architecture, see what it remembers, and figure out if this is genuinely useful or just, more complexity.
Let's do it.
So let's start with the basic problem. Why is Claude Code stateless in the first place?
Well, Claude Code is a command line tool. It's fantastic, it's fast, but it's what you'd call a black box agent. When you
Yeah.
kill that process, the context window is just flushed,
Wiped clean.
wiped clean. It's designed that way to be cheap and simple. Every session is a fresh start. It's a goldfish with a genius level IQ.
I like that. So what did letta-ai do?
They introduced a second agent. So you have Claude Code, your worker, and then you have a letta agent, which is the subconscious, sitting in the shadows, observing.
I was looking at the diagram in the repo, and the analogy that jumped out at me was like a manager and a worker.
That's a perfect way to think about it.
So Claude Code is the worker. It's in the terminal, hands on the keyboard, writing functions, fixing bugs. It's focused on the task right in front of it.
Right. It's digging the ditch.
And the letta agent is the manager. The manager isn't typing. It's just watching the transcript, taking notes. It doesn't interrupt, which is key.
Oh, that's so important.
But it analyzes the workflow, and then before the next task, it gives you a little briefing.
Exactly. It's asynchronous management.
Mhm.
And the mechanics of how they do it are actually pretty simple and clever. When you start Claude, it sends a little ping to the letta server, like, hey, we're starting.
Okay, so the manager clocks in.
The manager clocks in. And then, this is the cool part, before you even type your first prompt, the subconscious injects memory into a file. It's called key.md.
CLAUDE.md, so it's just a markdown file.
That's it. It's a file in your project root that Claude is programmed to read for instructions. So before you even start, the manager has already put the notes from last time on the worker's desk.
Huh. That's way simpler than I thought. I was picturing some, complex real-time vector database fusion thing.
Nope. Sometimes the best engineering is just boring. It works. You update a text file, the agent reads it. But the real magic happens after you get a response.
Right, because the memory needs to be updated.
After each response from Claude, the whole transcript of that interaction gets sent back to the letta agent, but asynchronously.
So it's a loop. Inject memory, do the work, send the work for analysis, update the memory.
Exactly. And because it's async, it never slows down your terminal. You're not waiting for the subconscious to think. You just keep coding. It just keeps watching.
Okay, but here's where I get skeptical. If it's just remembering everything, isn't that file going to get gigantic? A 3-week project would have a 10 megabyte CLAUDE.md file. That's a ton of tokens to feed in every time.
You've hit on the exact problem they had to solve. And you're right. If you just dump the raw logs in there, it would be useless, slow, and super expensive.
So what's the trick?
The trick is that it doesn't store a log. It stores structured data in what they call memory blocks.
Okay, it's structured, like a database.
Think of it more like specific drawers in a filing cabinet. The default setup has 8 of them.
8 drawers. Okay, give me the highlights. What's in them?
Well, there's one called user preferences.
Yeah.
And it's not just stuff you tell it. It learns. For example, if you keep rejecting code that uses one library and replacing it with another,
Huh.
it makes a note.
So it learns my taste, like a Spotify algorithm for my coding style.
Exactly. The repo has a great example. User hates philosophical tangents.
Oh, I need that. I need that so badly. Just give me the code. Don't lecture me on the ethics of AI.
Right. Or always wants explicit type annotations. It stores that, so you never have to ask again. It just becomes part of the briefing.
That alone is pretty valuable. What else?
There's project context, which is for architectural decisions. This is the fix for the amnesia problem. It remembers things they call known gotchas.
Known gotchas, like, hey, don't touch that legacy API. It'll break everything.
Precisely. The Claude instance you spin up today will see that note from 3 days ago and know to stay away. But the real killer feature, the thing that makes this feel almost alive, is the session patterns block.
Session patterns. Sounds a bit like therapy.
It kind of is. It's not just looking at your code, it's looking at you, how you work.
What do you mean?
Okay, so let's say you always get stuck on auth logic. You might make a note. User struggles with oath flows, tends to spiral after 45 minutes, suggest breaking the task down.
Whoa.
Or even user works late on Tuesdays and writes sloppy code after 10 p.m.
That is both incredibly useful and slightly terrifying.
Great.
My AI is psychoanalyzing my work habits. I feel judged.
But it's trying to optimize the coder, not just the code. And they have a really smart way of feeding this back without overwhelming the context window.
Right, the token problem.
Yeah. It doesn't send the entire memory block every time. It uses a diff mechanism.
A diff, like a git diff.
Sort of, yeah,
Yeah.
conceptually. It only shows Claude what has changed in the memory. So if a task went from in progress to complete,
Yeah,
it just shows that update. It keeps the prompt short and cheap.
that's smart. It's not the whole filing cabinet, just the new sticky notes.
Exactly. It keeps the worker focused.
I want to shift to the user experience. The docs use this term async guidance, and it sounds like a ghost in the machine. What does that actually look like for me?
So this is the ghost part. Imagine you finish coding at 8 p.m. You close your terminal. The Claude Code process is dead,
Right.
but the subconscious, the letta agent, is still awake. It's on the server, working the night shift. It's processing that final transcript, chewing on the data while you sleep.
And when I log in at 9 a.m.,
There's a letta message waiting for you, right there in the terminal.
what does it say? Good morning.
No. Get this. This is a direct example from the repo. The message says, you've asked about error handling in async context 3 times this week. Pattern. You're building towards production deployment, but hitting the same gaps.
Hitting the same gaps. Wow, that's blunt.
It is. It's not just storing facts. It's forming a hypothesis about your weaknesses and calling you out.
See, that's the difference between a tool and a partner, right? A tool waits for you to ask. A partner says, hey, you keep messing this up.
It's like a pair programmer who remembers everything you've ever typed. And it's a two-way street. Claude can actually talk back to it.
Talk back to the subconscious.
Yeah, in the transcript,
Right.
the worker can literally say something like, subconscious, make a note to refactor the database module next week. And in the next sync, it'll add that to the pending items block.
So the two AIs are having a little side chat about how to manage me.
Pretty much. All while you're just trying to get your code to compile.
Okay, let's get under the hood. This sounds complicated. Is it a nightmare to install?
Surprisingly, no. It's just a plugin. You type plugin, install Claude Subconscious. But they did some clever engineering to make it feel seamless.
I saw a note about fire and forget. What's that?
Okay, so you know how when you type exit in a terminal, you want it to be instant?
Oh, absolutely. I'm already closing my laptop. If it hangs, I'm hitting Control-C like a maniac.
Exactly. And uploading a big transcript can take a few seconds.
Yeah.
That would be a terrible user experience. So when you exit, it uses a stop hook to spawn a detached background worker.
Detached.
It means it runs separately from your terminal.
Okay.
So your prompt returns instantly, you're done. But in the background, this little script stays alive just long enough to finish the upload.
That's a really nice touch. It shows they actually understand how developers work. We're impatient.
We are. And it's flexible, too. It's model agnostic.
Yeah.
The subconscious needs a brain, right? By default, it uses Claude Sonnet 4.5.
Makes sense.
But it auto-detects what's available.
Yeah.
It can fall back to GPT 4.1 Mini or Gemini 3 Flash, whatever you have running.
So it adapts to your setup.
It does. But we should be fair. This is brand new. It's not perfect.
What are the rough edges?
There's a specific note for Linux users on Ubuntu and Fedora. You can hit a weird cross-device link error if your temp directory is on a different file system.
The classic exdev error.
The old classic. They have a workaround, but it's a good reminder that this is still bleeding edge stuff. You might have to get your hands a little dirty.
fresh paint. So what about its personality? Does it have one?
The default agent, yeah. The docs describe its persona as observational.
Observational.
So it says, I noticed. Not, you should. It's designed to be concise, technical, no filler.
So it's not trying to be my cheerleader. It's not going to say, great job on that for loop, buddy.
Definitely not. It's going to say, I noticed you defined that variable twice. It's professional, which is important. If it gets too chatty, you're just going to uninstall it.
So true. So let's sum it up. Why should a developer listening right now install this?
I think it comes down to three things: persistent context, learner preferences, and project continuity.
The headlines.
Persistent context. No more re-explaining your code. Learned preferences. It stops making suggestions you hate. But project continuity is the big one. Pick up where you left off. Becomes literal. The agent just tells you where you were.
It lowers the activation energy to get started again.
Perfectly said. It kills that friction. For anyone with a side project, that friction is what kills the project. This tool wants to fix that.
It really feels like we're moving from just chatting with a bot to actually collaborating with a system.
That is the perfect way to put it. You have the doer, which is Claude Code, and the observer, which is letta, and you, the human, are the third part of that system.
It's a powerful idea. But here's a thought I want to leave everyone with. It hit me when you were talking about session patterns where it decides you're stuck.
Oh, wow.
If the subconscious agent is watching our patterns, analyzing our struggles, and thinking about our project while we're asleep,
I see where this is going.
at what point does the subconscious become the real project manager? At what point are we and the Claude bot just the hands executing the vision that the memory system has already laid out?
It's a great question. If the system understands the project's long-term goals and your own personal weaknesses better than you do, maybe you should be the manager.
Maybe we just provide the initial idea and the subconscious figures out the entire execution plan.
That is something to think about while you're waiting for your next letta message.
Maybe be nice to it, just in case.
Yeah, it remembers everything after all.
That's all the time we have. Thanks for diving deep into Claude Subconscious with us. We'll catch you on the next one.